Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. It's hot, humid, it's been raining. That means mosquitoes are out and they are biting. But with a single call to Southeast Termite and Pest Control, you can make sure they're not biting you. Instead, they're biting the dust. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, thank you very much. I was up all night writing that one. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, their treatments are fantastic. Only take about an hour. They can do multiple treatments. But the good thing is if you call them out there and have them do a treatment and you're unsatisfied, call them back. They'll be right back out there to redo it because that's the kind of service they provide. Been doing it for 46 years now. Opened in 1971. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right. I realize this first graphic you're going to see is kind of small, but bear with me. We'll break it down. We'll break it down. All you need to look at is the stuff on the far right. And what you see, these are the last 35 seasons at home for Tennessee. So we went back to 1987. Wins and losses are listed. And there was also one home tie back there at the very bottom of the home losses. I counted it as a loss, but it's a tie back in 1987. But that was just to show you what had been done. The most interesting thing, when you look from 87 to 2001, you're talking about 13 losses and one tie in all those seasons, from 87 to 01. You had 14 losses from 02 to 08. You lost more from 02 to 08 than you did from 87 to 01. And then you've had more from there. But let's flip to the next graphic. Here you go. This makes it a little easier for you. All right. There are the eras, and the eras are pretty clear when you look at it in terms of 0-0. Okay, this is a good stretch. 3 and 2. Well, here's the deal. Home record 87-94. You can see it there. 41-10-1. Only 3 of the 52 games were losses by 10 or more points. All right, 95 to 01. 41-3. Now that's when Fulmer had the thing really rolling. Obviously, national championship thrown in there. The Manning years. 41-3 over that period at home, not a single loss by 10 or more points. Out of 44 games, they didn't lose one of them by 10 or more points. All right. Then you got 02 to 08, and there's the drop-off. 34-14 at home. 8 of your 48 losses, or 8 of your 48 games were losses by 10 or more. 09 to 2014 drops further. 27-17 at home. 10 10-point or more losses out of 44 games. But then the last 2 years, and that's a real small sample size, but that's my question for you. 11-3 the last 2 years at home, only one loss by 10 or more points. That was last year at Alabama when you were beaten up. Now let's flip to the next graphic. 87 to 2001, 13 home losses and one tie. You were 82-13-1, 85% win percentage at home from 87 to 2001. That's 15 years. Only 3 of your 96 home games were losses by 10 or more points. Then you look 2002 to 2016, 34 home losses. You won 67% of your games, 19 losses of 10 or more points. Can't get any more clear than that. You had a tremendous home field advantage from 87 to 01. Can't beat it. 02 to 16, I don't think that floors anybody, but it started earlier than people think. You've struggled. At home, and it's been going on for almost 20 years now. When you look at Tennessee the last 2 years, though, only one of those big signature kick-in-the-butt 10-point losses. Is home field advantage back for UT? Are you willing to say it? No.
No, I don't think it is. I mean, I just think it, like you said, it's too little bit of a sample. I think it's way too early after 2 pretty good home seasons to say it's back. Let's see what happens this year. Because you could get a little bit closer to 500 potentially if things go wrong.
If things go wrong, but I'll also say this. Golden Nugget only has you as an underdog in one home game.
And that's basically a pick 'em. Right?
No, that was
that's
LSU.
Alabama. That's LSU.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at that, until you see the defense play significantly better, how can you say the home field advantage is back? I mean, didn't you let Missouri get like 740 yards on you or something? Until you see that improve, how can you hang your hat, like the coaches like to say, that your home field advantage is back? You can't.
Well, just the record.
Yeah.
11-3 everybody seems over where you were.
Everybody seems to forget that Tennessee played 5 FBS divisional champions, and 4 of those games were in the first half of the season. I mean, if you really want to know why they were what they were in November, and I say this, and some people disagree, but Ohio was a pretty good football team. Appalachian State was a pretty good football team. Virginia Tech turned out to be a very good football team. Florida, was a divisional champion as well. I mean, this was the front end of your schedule, and then you played Alabama, and whoever was healthy that was left, which, as you pointed out, John, weren't many, they knocked them the hell out of the game. So there really wasn't much left in November, Chuck, when you say let Missouri do
Although-
it. It was third teamers and a lot
Although
of
in Chuck's
freshmen.
defense, you just mentioned Appalachian State.
And you had to go to
Came in-
overtime to beat them.
They came into Fortress
Recover,
Neyland and almost won.
So how was that home field
that-
advantage against Appalachian State?
Okay, there you go. There's a point for
Well,
Chuck.
if it wasn't for home field, they'd have lost.
There you go.
That game was at Appy State, they would have
Jalen Hurd
won.
would have never fallen on that fumble.
That's right.
Josh.
95-01's not back. It's not coming back, but
Right.
the advantage is there. Oklahoma players raved about Neyland Stadium and how difficult that environment was to play. And I know Oklahoma won the game, but the atmosphere, Neyland Stadium was a difficult place for them
Well, it
to
was
play.
a record decibel level, correct?
We got to catch a break, but here's the thing. The better Tennessee gets, the more people are in the crowd
Exactly,
and the
that's
louder
my-
they get,
yes.
and therefore it comes back. So if Tennessee has
that's
a
my
good
point.
home record this year, I think we can start to say those numbers aren't false. I mean, here's the thing. You lost one home game last year. You lost 3 games on the road. That tells me there's a home field advantage at Neyland Stadium where before 2 years ago, you didn't even have that
But I don't
advantage at
think-
home.
I don't think it's back. If this
It's
team
not
takes
87-01,
if this
that's
team
what I'm
takes
saying.
a step back, then your home field advantage takes a step back. So that's the reason I'm just taking wait and see.
Yeah, well, I was just asking for a yay or nay, and you've cavaliers the question. Okay, when we come back, we're going to be talking about Larry Scott, Bob Shoop, both had things to say this week. We'll react to what they said and tell you what we say. Come on back on the Sports Zone.